Okay students, now we'll go for the next sum. Again it's an extra sum which is not there in the ebook, because my intention of doing such sums is to make more aware of such type of sum where capital fund is not given to you. Because if this type of sum, if you are very thorough, then automatically the other two type of sums also will be very clear to you. Okay, so now without wasting much of our time, we'll proceed with our next sum for the day. Now here we have, again in this problem we are not given a capital fund. So capital fund is not given, so we have to prepare capital fund also. Here also we are preparing same type of accounts. The first we are going to prepare income and expenditure account, we are preparing a balance sheet, and then we are preparing a closing balance sheet. Okay, we are preparing a closing balance sheet. Now we'll start. First we read out the all adjustments. Stock of stationery on 31st March was 180 and on 31st March 2007 was 200. So we will just tick mark stationery. It is stock of stationery. If you see here, any stationery is given to you. Printing and stationery. So tick mark printing and stationery. Okay, then half of the entrance fees is to be treated as revenue income. Half is treated as revenue income. It means half is treated as capital income, because income are of two types. One is capital income and other one is a revenue income. So here in the question it is given that half of the entrance fees is to be treated as revenue income. So tick mark entrance fees. Then salaries for the March 2007 amounting to rupees 800 are outstanding. 2007. So we are also in 2007 only. If you see the year, it is 31st March 2007. It is of current year only. It is of current year only. So tick mark salaries. Tick mark salaries. Then we have on 31st March 2006, we have club premises stood at 50,000, investment 12,000 and furniture at 6,000. So it is again opening balances of all assets. So it is opening balance of all assets which we have to write in both the places. Okay, we have to write in both the places. Club premises, investments and furniture. Okay, so first and then club had 3,600 members, each paying annual subscription of rupees 10 each. So it is a subscription amount. There are 3,600 members. There are 3,600 members. Each member is paying rupees 10. Each member is paying rupees 10. So the club had 3,600, each paying annual subscription of rupees 10. So your total subscription comes to 3,600 multiplied by 10, which comes to 36,000. Okay, for the current year. So we will just tick mark here subscription for the current year. There is an adjustment. Now we will start posting. So before posting, we will just write first of all the balances of the assets. Okay, so if you come to the asset adjustment number 4, if you see the adjustment number 4, it is given as club premises stood. So your club premises is an asset which is 50,000. Same you write over here also, club premises which is 50,000. There is no adjustment of it on it as such. Then you have investment. Again you write in the opening balance sheet investment, opening balance sheet investment, which is 12,000. Same thing you write here. Same thing you write here also in the opening balance sheet investment, which is 12,000. It is having an adjustment. There are two adjustments. So we write here in the inner column. I think only one adjustment is there on investment. Then you have furniture. So write here first furniture in the opening balance sheet. In the opening balance sheet, the furniture is rupees 6,000. Same you write here in furniture. Write 6,000 in the inner column. There are two adjustments. We'll leave 3 lines. Okay, now if you see the adjustment number 1, stock of stationery was 31st March 2006 was 180. So this is the last year stock. ऐसा ना, this is the last year stock. Closing stock मीन्स जो स्टॉक अनयूज था, जो स्टेशनरी जिसको हमने यूज नहीं किया है, तो ये लास्ट ईयर का स्टॉक है जो बच गया था, जो एसेट्स में आना चाहिए. जैसा हम लोग स्टॉक क्लोजिंग स्टॉक लिखते हैं ना एसेट्स में, उसी तरह लास्ट ईयर का जो स्टॉक ऑफ स्टेशनरी है वो लास्ट ईयर के बैलेंस शीट में दिखाया जाना चाहिए. तो हम इसको लिखेंगे यहाँ पर इन द ओपनिंग बैलेंस शीट. सो वी राइट हियर स्टॉक ऑफ स्टेशनरी which is 180 rupees. Okay, now when the opening stock of stationery and the closing stock of stationery is given to you, so definitely we have to find out the stock of stationery consumed. यानी कि हमने करंट ईयर में कितना स्टेशनरी को यूज किया, ये हमें फाइंड आउट करना पड़ेगा. हमने करंट ईयर में जैसा आपको ओपनिंग स्टॉक दिया है, क्लोजिंग स्टॉक दिया है, तो आपको ये समझना चाहिए कि हमें ये भी फाइंड आउट करना पड़ेगा कि कितना स्टेशनरी हमने ये साल में कंज्यूम किया है. तो उसके लिए ये जो ओपनिंग स्टॉक ऑफ स्टेशनरी है, सो वी राइट ओवर इन द एक्सपेंडिचर साइड. इन द एक्सपेंडिचर साइड यू राइट हियर ओपनिंग स्टॉक ऑफ स्टेशनरी. ओपनिंग स्टॉक ऑफ स्टेशनरी वी राइट इन द एक्सपेंडिचर साइड which is 180 rupees. Which is 180 rupees. Okay, then we come to the subscription. Just see the subscription part. पिछले साल में 600 रुपये पेंडिंग था. पिछले साल में 600 रुपये पेंडिंग था, यानी ये पिछले साल का बैलेंस शीट में दिखना चाहिए. ये आपका जैसा हम लोग देखो आउटस्टैंडिंग स्टेज सब्सक्रिप्शन, व्हेन देयर इज आउटस्टैंडिंग सब्सक्रिप्शन फॉर द करंट ईयर, तो हम उसको कहाँ दिखाते हैं, वी शो इट इन द बैलेंस शीट एसेट साइड. तो उसी तरह लास्ट ईयर में सब्सक्रिप्शन कुछ आउटस्टैंडिंग है. देयर इज अ सब्सक्रिप्शन विच इज ₹600 विच इज आउटस्टैंडिंग. तो आप उसे कहाँ लिखोगे, एसेट्स में लिखोगे. किसके, ओपनिंग बैलेंस शीट में. तो बैलेंस शीट के ओपनिंग बैलेंस शीट में आ जाइए और यहाँ लिखिए आउटस्टैंडिंग सब्सक्रिप्शन जो कि 600 रुपीज है. क्लोजिंग बैलेंस शीट में नहीं आएगा, इट विल कम इन द ओपनिंग बैलेंस शीट. ओके, अब हम लोग अपने रेगुलर फ्लो में हम लोग सम को, हाँ एक और चीज है, जो टू बैलेंस ब्रॉट डाउन है, ये ओपनिंग बैलेंस है, कैश का ओपनिंग बैलेंस है. तो कैश का ओपनिंग बैलेंस अपना ओपनिंग बैलेंस शीट में आना चाहिए. सो वी राइट हियर इन द ओपनिंग बैलेंस शीट कैश इन हैंड विच इज 5000. फिर आप देखोगे यहाँ पर हमने बैंक ओवरड्राफ्ट पे किया है 7000 रुपीज, यानी ये लास्ट ईयर पेंडिंग था तो हमने उसको पे किया होगा. यस, लास्ट ईयर हमने अभी ये साल देखो बैंक ओवरड्राफ्ट पे किया है, तो डेफिनेटली ये लाइबिलिटी रहा होगा हमारा, जिसको हमने ये साल पे किया है. तो राइट इन द लाइबिलिटी साइड ओपनिंग ओवर बैंक ओवरड्राफ्ट, इसको हमने पे किया है विच इज 7000 रुपीज. ठीक है, अब जैसा हम लोग देख लेते कि हमारा कैपिटल फंड बराबर है कि नहीं, जब देखते हैं हम लोग कैलकुलेट कर लेते हैं, क्योंकि रिलेटेड टू कैपिटल फंड हमने सारे मतलब जो भी ओपनिंग बैलेंस शीट में आना चाहिए वो हमने सब लिख दिया है. ठीक है, अभी हम देखते हैं कि अपना कैपिटल बैलेंस सही है कि नहीं. अगर हम टोटल करते हैं, इफ वी टोटल, सो आपका ओपनिंग बैलेंस शीट का टोटल है जो हमने लिखा है 50,000, 12,000 प्लस 6,000 प्लस 5,000 प्लस 6,000 प्लस 180. आप इसे ऐड करोगे, इसको ऐड करोगे तो इट कम्स टू 73,780 आ रहा है. 73,780 आ रहा है. इसमें से आप 7,000 माइनस करोगे, इसमें से आप 7,000 माइनस करोगे तो यू विल बी गेटिंग 66,780. दिस इज नथिंग बट दिस इज कैपिटल फंड. आपने एसेट्स में से ये ओपनिंग बैलेंस शीट हम लोग क्यों बनाए हैं, व्हाई डू वी मेक दिस ओपनिंग बैलेंस शीट? वी हैव प्रिपेयर्ड दिस ओपनिंग बैलेंस शीट टू फाइंड आउट द कैपिटल फंड. So what I did now, I have just totaled the balance sheet and I have found that asset is more. The total comes to 73,780. From that, I subtract the bank overdraft, which comes to 66,780. Okay, so this is capital fund, which will bring in the opening balance, closing balance sheet, which we will bring in the. Okay, students. So now we'll start posting. The first adjustment is in your receipts and payment account. You can see bank overdraft is there. Now this bank overdraft is already paid. Okay, so we will not write in the balance sheet liability side. Then we have investment. Investment is 1,800. It is add new purchases, which is 6,800. On adding this, you will be getting 18,800. After this, you have furniture. Furniture is an asset, so furniture is 2,980. Add purchases, 2,980 rupees. On adding this, you will be getting 8,980 rupees. Then we have printing, salaries and printing, they are expenses. So we write here in expenditure side to salaries. We will write in the inner column, salaries. We have to leave some space near stationery. To salaries, which is 10,200. Leave one line. Then you have printing and stationery, right? It is printing and stationery. It is a stationery what you have purchased this year, in the current year. So we write here add. In the stationery you have write here add purchases. How much you have purchased? 1,780. On adding this, you will be getting 1,960. Then we have postage and telegram. It's an expenses. To postage and telegram, which is 2,200. Then we have cost of drama, they are expenses. So cost of drama to cost of drama, which is 3,500. Then we have sundry expenses, which is 2,800. Then we have closing balance, by balance carried down. It's a closing balance of cash, closing balance of cash in hand, cash at bank. We are in the receipts and payment account, so cash in hand, cash at bank, we will write in assets. Cash in hand, which is 660. Cash at bank, which is 7,000. It's a closing cash in hand, cash at bank. Now we go for the income side, receipt side. We have income side. I think the first element we have to subscription. Subscription is an income, so we write in the income side subscription. We write here by subscription. The total subscription amount is 33,300. From this you have to deduct the previous year. You can see here In the subscription 33,300 you have subscription amount of previous year and you have subscription amount of next year. So both you have to deduct. As in income and expenditure account, we are recording only the expenses and income relating to the current year. So we less from subscription by subscription received of 2005 and 6, which is 600 rupees. On subtracting this, you will be getting 32,700. From this less subscription received in advance of 7 and 8 of next year, subscription received in advance of 7 and 8, which is 300 rupees. So on subtracting this, you will be getting 33,300. If I am not wrong, so 33,300 minus 600, sorry, 32,700, it will be 32,400. I'm extremely sorry, 32,400. Now this subscription which you have received in advance will have two effects. One, you will be less from the subscription amount, and second, you will show in the balance sheet liability side subscription received in advance, which is 300 rupees. Subscription received in advance, which is 300 rupees. So then we have two proceeds from drama, it's an income. Two proceeds from drama, it's an income. So below subscription you leave one line right here by entrance fees, which is 1340, right in the inner column. Then we have interest on securities. Interest on securities, again it's an income, by interest on securities, which is an income, 1,000 rupees. Then we have two sale proceeds from old furniture. In bracket it is given as cost price is 160 and it is sold for rupees 200. If you see, the cost price is 160. That means we have sold an furniture which is costing rupees 160. So this 160 you will show in the balance sheet asset side. In balance sheet asset side, in the furniture you have to less sale. You have sold a furniture which is sale is 160 rupees. So you will be getting 8820. 9 minus 1, 8820. This is sale of furniture, 8820. Then the furniture was costing 160. It is sold for 200 rupees. So from this we can easily say that there is a profit of rupees 140 rupees, only 40 rupees. There is a profit of 40 rupees because the cost price was 160 and it is sold for rupees 200. So there is a clear profit of rupees 40. So profit you will write in the income side, credit side, by sale, by profit on sale, which is profit on sale, which is 40 rupees. How we got is 40 rupees? 200 minus 160, you will get 40 rupees. Okay, so this ends up your postings. Now we go for adjustments. The first adjustment is stock of stationery on 31st March 2006 was rupees 180 and on 31st March 2007 is 200. So it is a opening stock of stationery and closing stock of stationery. So opening stock already we have written, now closing stock we have to write. So this you will less from the equation of stock of stationery. So from this you less closing stock of stationery, which is 200 rupees. subtract करो 1760. now ये 1760 क्या देता है? it explains you the stationery which is consumed in the current year. हम लोग ने current year में कितना stationery consume किया है ये बताता है. okay, it shows the stationery whatever is consumed in the current year. now the stock of stationery whatever is unused stock that you will be going to use for the next year. So in the next year balance sheet you will be writing here, the next year balance sheet you will write here closing stock of stationery, closing stock of stationery, which is 200 rupees, which is 200 rupees. Then the next adjustment is half of the entrance fees is to be treated as revenue income. Half of the entrance fees is to be treated as revenue income. So entrance fees में से half capitalized होगा minus capitalized, half capitalized होगा तो so it will be 1300 का half 650 रुपीस हो जाएगा. So 670 माइनस करो, you will be getting 50% लेना आपको, ठीक है. So 670 plus 670 will give you 1340. So this is capitalized, so you have to write in the capital fund. So write the capital fund over here. Capital fund is, we have found, I think so, capital fund. Capital fund. Okay, now we'll just say what's the capital fund. The capital fund is 66,780. 66,780. In this you will add the entrance fees. Entrance fees is 670, which will give you 0, 8, 10, 15, 14, 7, 67,450. okay, then we have salaries for March 2007 amounting to rupees 800 are outstanding. So that means for current year the salary is outstanding. For the current year the salary is outstanding of rupees 800. So you will first effect, it is an expense, so add to salaries outstanding, which is salaries outstanding, which is 800 rupees. So we will be getting 11,000. Second effect, it is a liability. So in the liability you will be writing outstanding salaries. In the liabilities you will be writing outstanding salaries, which is 800 rupees. Then the fourth adjustment is already done. Now the fifth adjustment, the club had 3,600 members, each paying annual subscription of rupees 10. It means there are total 3,600. There are total 3,600 member. Each member is paying 10 rupees. So your total subscription comes to 36,000. okay, out of that 36,000 for the current year you have received only 32,400. मतलब आपका टोटल सब्सक्रिप्शन जो है वो 36,000 है उसमें से आपको सिर्फ 32,400 मिला है। इसका मतलब ये हुआ है कि आपका थोड़ा आउटस्टैंडिंग भी है करंट ईयर का। तो आउटस्टैंडिंग है करंट ईयर का, तो ऐड करो आउटस्टैंडिंग फॉर करंट ईयर। आउटस्टैंडिंग फॉर करंट ईयर कितना होगा? आउटर कॉलम में 36,000 आना चाहिए क्योंकि टोटल सब्सक्रिप्शन इज 36,000, सो इट विल बी 3,600। आउटस्टैंडिंग कितना है? 3,600। देखो ऐड करो, इट विल बी कमिंग 36,000। तो आपका सब्सक्रिप्शन जो है आउटस्टैंडिंग फॉर द करंट ईयर इज 3,600। सो यू विल बी शोइंग द सेकेंड इफेक्ट। सेकेंड इफेक्ट ये आपका आउटस्टैंडिंग इनकम है। सो वी राइट हियर आउटस्टैंडिंग सब्सक्रिप्शन for current year, which is 3,600. Now we will total up and we'll try to close the account. Okay students, so now on totaling the debit side, you are getting an amount of 21,260. If you can see here, on totaling the debit side I am getting 21,260, and on totaling the credit side I am getting a total of 41,790. So it is very clear from this that the credit side is having more amount. So write the credit side amount on both the side, 41,790. From this you subtract the debit side amount. On subtracting you will be getting 20,530. यानी आप क्रेडिट का अमाउंट में से आप डेबिट का अमाउंट को माइनस कीजिए, you will be getting, so this is 2 excess of income over expenses, in bracket you write surplus, which is 20,530. डेबिट टोटल है 21,260, क्रेडिट टोटल है 41,790. इट इज़ वेरी क्लियर फ्रॉम दिस दैट क्रेडिट साइड इज़ हेवियर देन डेबिट साइड. तो आप क्रेडिट साइड का अमाउंट में से डेबिट साइड अमाउंट को माइनस कीजिए, यू विल बी गेटिंग ए सरप्लस ऑफ 20,530. फिर स्टूडेंट हमने एक आइटम लिखना भूल गए थे, बाय प्रोसीड्स फ्रॉम ड्रामा. ये छूट गया था अपना, प्लीज़ आप नोट कर लो. सो बाय प्रोसीड्स फ्रॉम ड्रामा विच इज़ एन इनकम ऑफ 4,080. Now this surplus you will be adding in balance sheet in capital fund. Add surplus 20,530. On adding this you will be getting 87,980. And now total all liabilities you will be getting 89,080 rupees, and total all assets you will be getting 89,080 rupees. Okay students, so thank you for watching my video. I hope you might have understood. If you have any doubt, please let me know. Thanks once again. Okay students, now we have completed our second topic, that is accounts of not-for-profit concern. Okay, now the remaining sum whichever we have not done, you can take it as a homework. Okay, already we have done 2 extra sums and 2 sums were left out from our ebook, from our textbook. That 2 sums you can do as a homework. Okay, now then we proceed with a new chapter. There is a third chapter, reconstitution of partnership. Now reconstitution of partnership means, first of all we'll understand what is the meaning of reconstitution. Now see the meaning of reconstitution. Reconstitution means change. The literal meaning, if you see, a reconstitution means a change. Reconstitution means a change. So the change in relationship. Now change in relationship means what? Now for example, one partner, there are 3 partners are doing business. Okay, they are doing business in a partnership firm. Okay, now one person wants to leave the business, so automatically there will be some changes in the agreement. So these changes will bring about change in the relationship. So what is reconstitution? Reconstitution means change. Constitution means change. Therefore, change in agreement among partners will bring change in relationship. When there is some changes, like we know the partnership deed. So if there is any changes in the partnership deed, automatically there will be changes among the relationship also. That is the meaning that we call it as reconstitution of partnership. Okay. Now the different forms of reconstitution. There are totally 4 types are there. First one is change in profit, sharing of existing partner. Second one is admission of partner. Third one is retirement of partner. And fourth one is death of a partner. Okay. So the different forms of reconstitution, students. Different forms of reconstitution, there are changes among the relationship between the partners, might be because of various reasons. So basically we will be learning with 4 different forms. The first one is change in profit, sharing of existing partner. Okay. Now for example, now there are suppose 4 partners are there, like A, B, C and D. Suppose there are 4 partners A, B, C and D. Okay. Now A is having, say for example, 50 shares, B is having 30 shares, C is having 90 shares and D is having 50 shares. Okay. Now what happened? Now D is having 50 shares. So now what A is saying, now B is having only 25 shares. So what B is saying, that I will take some shares of D. So that means, for example, now D was having 50 shares. Out of that 50 shares, B is saying that I want your 30 shares. That means the 30 shares of B is taken by, 30 shares of D is taken by B. Okay, it is taken by B. It is called as changing. So automatically what happened? Now B is having more shares. Now when B is having more shares, automatically his profit sharing ratio will change. Okay, मतलब उसका शेयर जो होता है प्रॉफिट में, जो जितना हिस्सा होता है वो चेंज हो सकता है क्योंकि उसके पास ज्यादा शेयर आ गया है. So now we will just see what is written here. Change in profit sharing of existing partner. If one partner purchase a share of profit from another partner, the old partnership agreement stands terminated and new partnership agreement comes into force, stating the new profit sharing ratio. So what I have explained you, same thing is given the statement that, for example, if any partner takes a share of any other partner, so automatically there will be a change in their profit sharing ratio. So because of that change, what will happen? The old partnership deed will be cancelled. And a new deed will be prepared, in which the new profit sharing ratio will be written. Okay, so change in profit sharing of existing partner. If one partner purchases a share of profit from another partner, the old partnership agreement stands terminated and a new agreement comes into force, stating the new profit sharing ratio. Okay, second one is admission of partner. Now what happened? The new suppose now the business want to raise more capital. Suppose business को ज़्यादा पैसा लाना है. Suppose they want more money. और बिजनेस को एक्सपांड करने के लिए कुछ पैसे की ज़रूरत होती है. तो ये वो लोग क्या करेंगे? इन दैट केस वो लोग किसी थर्ड पर्सन को अपने पार्टनरशिप में एडमिट करेंगे. सपोज देयर आर 2 पार्टनर्स A एंड B. तो A एंड B क्या सोच रहे हैं कि हम अपना बिजनेस को बड़ा कर सकते हैं. ठीक है, तो बड़ा करने के लिए क्या करेंगे वो लोग, किसी थर्ड पर्सन को अपने बिजनेस में पार्टनर के नाम पे एडमिट करेंगे. सो दैट प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड एज एडमिशन ऑफ अ पार्टनर. दैट प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड एज एडमिशन ऑफ अ पार्टनर. सो व्हाट इज एडमिशन ऑफ पार्टनर? Admission of partner is when the new partner is admitted, when the new partner is admitted in the business, he brings capital and his share of goodwill. Okay, when the new partner is admitted in the business, he brings capital and his share of goodwill. Means कोई बिजनेसमैन अपने बिजनेस में किसी को बुलाता है, वो कब आएगा? जब अपना बिजनेस का मार्केट में नाम है. अगर कोई भी हम थर्ड पर्सन बोलेगा कि भाई मेरे बिजनेस का मार्केट में नाम ही नहीं है, और अगर हम उसको अगर अपने बिजनेस में बुलाना चाहते हैं, तो क्या वो हमारे बिजनेस में आ पाएगा? आएगा? नहीं आएगा. क्यों नहीं आएगा? क्योंकि अपना बिजनेस का मार्केट में नाम नहीं है. सेम वे अगर हम किसी को एडमिट कर रहे हैं, हम किसी को एडमिट करना चाहते हैं, तो डेफिनेटली हमारा बिजनेस का मार्केट में गुडविल होगा. तो जो भी नया पार्टनर जो बिजनेस में आ रहा है, वो पार्टनर बिजनेस में जब आएगा तो अपने साथ दो चीज लाएगा. एक तो पैसा लाएगा कैपिटल के लिए, और कुछ पैसा लाएगा गुडविल के लिए. he will bring some cash for capital, and he will bring some cash for goodwill. Okay, so what is admission of partner? When the new partner is admitted in the business, he brings capital and his share of goodwill. यानी वो पैसा बिजनेस में दो चीज के लिए लाएगा. एक तो कैपिटल के लिए लाएगा. कैपिटल मतलब द अमाउंट इन्वेस्टेड इनटू द बिजनेस. एक है कैपिटल, द अमाउंट इन्वेस्टेड इनटू द बिजनेस, और दूसरा है शेयर ऑफ गुडविल. ऑल पार्टनर्स हैव टू सैक्रिफाइस देयर प्रॉफिट. देखो पहले दो जन था, 1+1 बराबर. अभी तीसरा आ रहा है बिजनेस के अंदर, तो ऑटोमेटिकली क्या हो जाएगा? जो प्रॉफिट पहले दो जन में बांटा जा रहा था, अब वो 3 जन में बांटा जाएगा. बिकॉज प्रीवियसली देयर आर टू पर्सन, सो द प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस जो भी था, अगर बिजनेस में प्रॉफिट भी हो रहा है तो दोनों में बांटा जाएगा, लॉस भी हो रहा है तो भी दोनों में बांटा जाएगा. लेकिन अभी जब एक नया पार्टनर बिजनेस में आया है, व्हेन ए न्यू पार्टनर हैज एडमिटेड इनटू द बिजनेस, सो ऑटोमेटिकली the share of the old partners in the profit will change. They have to sacrifice some part of the profit, because वो जो अपने बिजनेस में आ रहा है, तो डेफिनेटली हमें उसको अपने बिजनेस का प्रॉफिट में से कुछ हिस्सा हमें उसे देना पड़ेगा. ओके, दैट इज एडमिशन ऑफ पार्टनर. सो एडमिशन ऑफ पार्टनर क्या है बताया मैंने? व्हेन द न्यू पार्टनर इज एडमिटेड इन द बिजनेस, he brings capital and his share of goodwill. All partners have to sacrifice their share of profit for new partner, so the partnership agreement changes. Third one is retirement of partner. Retirement word itself says that a person due to his old age or some other reason, he might leave the business and go. ओके, अगर हम जैसा कि हम लोग जॉब कर रहे हैं, तो हम लोग 58 ईयर्स तक हम काम कर सकते हैं. तो आफ्टर 58 ईयर्स बाय डिफॉल्ट वी गेट रिटायर्ड. तो सेम वे इन द बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, इन अ पार्टनरशिप फर्म ऑल्सो, इफ सम पार्टनर हैज क्रॉस देयर एज 58 ईयर्स, अगर वो 58 ईयर्स अगर क्रॉस हो गया है, या उसके पहले ही वॉलेंट्री रिटायरमेंट लेना चाहता है, तो वो अपना बिजनेस को छोड़ के जाएगा. जब वो बिजनेस को छोड़ के जाएगा, तो डेफिनेटली उसका जो भी पैसा अपने बिजनेस में है, और जितना दिन भी वो काम किया है, उसका शेयर ऑफ प्रॉफिट उसको जाएगा. ठीक है, यानी अगर देखो, जरूरी नहीं कि वो रिटायरमेंट साल के शुरुआत में ही लेगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, साल शुरू हुआ, सपोज आवर ईयर स्टार्ट्स बाय 1 अप्रैल, ओके, एंड इन द 1 अक्टूबर को रिटायर हो रहा है वो. ही इज गेटिंग रिटायर्ड ऑन 1 अक्टूबर. सो दैट मीन्स अपना फाइनेंशियल ईयर में अप्रैल से स्टार्ट हुआ, अप्रैल से लेके अप्रैल, मई, जून, जुलाई, अगस्त, सितंबर, ये 6 महीने उसने काम किया और सातवां महीने में बिगिनिंग ऑफ द मंथ हुई रिटायर्स। तो यानी उसको ये 6 महीने का बिजनेस में जो भी प्रॉफिट हुआ होगा उसका हिस्सा हमें पार्टनर को देना पड़ेगा, उसका हिस्सा हमें पार्टनर को देना पड़ेगा। तो यहाँ पे क्या लिखा है देखो, रिटायरमेंट ऑफ अ पार्टनर, इफ द पार्टनर इज रिटायरिंग फ्रॉम द पार्टनरशिप, if the partner is retiring from partnership firm, his share of profit up to the date of retirement, यानी कि जब वो रिटायर हुआ है उस दिन तक का जो भी उसका शेयर ऑफ प्रॉफिट है या उसका कैपिटल है या उसका रिजर्व्स होता है, रिजर्व समझ में आ रहा है, जो ओल्ड प्रॉफिट होता है, जैसा रिजर्व फंड होता है, जो उसका जूना प्रॉफिट है वो हिस्सा उसे देना पड़ेगा। Okay, so if the partner is retiring, from the partnership firm, his share of profit up to the date of retirement or capital, his or her share in other reserves of the firm will be paid to him or her। यानी कि जब वो रिटायर हो रहा है, when he is retiring till that date, when he is retiring till that date, he will be given the share of profit till the date of retirement. He will be given whatever is contribution as capital, and he will be given whatever his share in the reserves of the firm। Okay, so this is called retirement of a partner। The next one is death of a partner। डेथ ऑफ अ पार्टनर तो बस वेरी क्लियर है कि पर्सन का डेथ हो जाता है। इफ द पार्टनर डाइज, व्हेन द पार्टनर डाइज ऑटोमेटिकली ही विल लॉस द पार्टनरशिप, सो ही विल नॉट बी एनी मोर अ पार्टनर ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। सपोज सो पार्टनर इज गोइंग आउट ऑफ बिजनेस ड्यू टू डेथ, हिज लीगल हायर will get the partner's share in the business। The share of profit of continuing partners will change and all partnership agreement comes to an end। तो डेथ में क्या होता है कि वो पर्सन का डेथ हो गया है, he died, so when the person dies so automatically क्या हो जाएगा, he will be no longer a partner। तो उसका जो लीगल हायर होता है, लीगल हायर मतलब कि उसका जो नॉमिनी होता है, जैसा उसका बेटा हुआ, बच्चा हुआ, वाइफ हुआ या उनका भाई हुआ, जो भी उनका लीगल हायर होगा वो उसका शेयर आके लेके जाएगा और ऑटोमेटिकली जो जूना पार्टनरशिप डीड है वो कैंसिल हो जाएगा और एक नया पार्टनरशिप डीड बनेगा। समझ में आया? सो डेथ ऑफ अ पार्टनर में ये होता है कि कोई भी पार्टनर मर जाता है तो ऑटोमेटिकली उसका जो लीगल हायर है, उसका जो नॉमिनी है वो बिजनेस का हिस्सा बन जाता है। बिजनेस हिस्सा नहीं बनेगा, जो भी उसका शेयर है टिल द डेट ऑफ डेथ वो उसके नॉमिनी को दिया जाएगा। ओके, सो दीज आर द डिफरेंट फॉर्म्स ऑफ रिकॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। There are basically 4 types of reconstitution. The one is change in profit sharing of existing partner. Second one is admission of partner. Third one is retirement of partner. And fourth one is death of a partner. Okay. So now depending upon the various forms, we have different chapters also. Now our third chapter is based on admission of partner. Okay. In this topic, we will deal with admission of partner. Then the fourth chapter is retirement of partner. Fifth chapter is death of a partner. So based on the forms of partner, based on the forms of reconstitution, we have different topics. So in this topic we will deal with the admission of partner. Okay, now we'll go in detail about the admission of partner. The very first thing is, what is the need of admitting a partner? As I told you before also, what is the need? The very first need is to expand the capital base. Very first need is to expand the capital base, यानी कि अगर हमें बिजनेस का कैपिटल स्ट्रक्चर को बढ़ाना है, if we want to increase the base of the capital, it is needed that we should admit a partner. Then to use skills of that person to improve the overall performance of the partnership firm. To use the skills यानी कि जो पार्टनर को हम एडमिट कर रहे हैं, द पार्टनर को हम जिस पार्टनर को हम एडमिट कर रहे हैं उस पार्टनर के पास से हम पैसा भी लेंगे, प्लस अगर उनके पास कुछ एडिशनल स्किल है, इफ दे आर हैविंग सम एडिशनल स्किल्स या जो भी स्किल उनके पास है, हम उनका यूटिलाइज करके हम अपने बिजनेस को ग्रो करने का सोचेंगे. Okay, so what is the need of admission of a partner? First point is to expand the capital base. First point is to expand the capital base, यानी अपना capital structure को बढ़ाने के लिए. Second point है to use the skills of that person to improve the overall performance of the partnership firm. Clear? Now basically we have many journal entries over here. We will be doing the journal entries in a phase wise. Now first phase we are doing the journal entry is what? The new partner, whoever is admitted in the business, he can bring cash brought towards capital. Means he is bringing cash towards capital. So what is a journal entry? Cash account debited to capital account. Cash account debited to capital account. Sometimes some partner may say that I will not bring capital. In place of capital, I will give you some property. I will give some assets. Like I am giving you one laptop. I am giving you one computer. So such partner can be there who will say that I will not bring capital. I will not bring cash towards capital. I may bring assets. So what is the journal entry for it? Assets brought towards capital. The journal entry is asset account debited to new partners capital account. Asset account debited to new partners capital account. Is it clear? So this is the two journal entries what we are going to learn. That is the first phase. We are learning that the new partner is bringing either cash or bringing capital to a either bringing cash or assets towards a business towards capital. So the journal entry, when you bring cash, the cash account debited to capital account, और दूसरा है asset account debited to new partners capital account. Okay, yes, till here is it clear? Okay, then thank you. The remaining we will do in the next video.